If you want to know on how to express your feelings and emotions, or you just want to hear a story about it, or how is it possible, you have to listen to this podcast. Hi everyone, I'm so glad to be back. And for you, of course, it doesn't seem that I'm back because I haven't gone anywhere except from uploading the episodes. But in my life, I was gone. I was gone for more than a month without really recording, and I was missing it so much. I really was. And I'm actually so happy that I miss it and that I have this feeling that when I'm recording, I feel like, yes, this is actually what I wanted, just to have a nice conversation with you guys and just share whatever is there. It's just insane how much I missed it. And it's so crazy how expression can give you this satisfaction because this is actually what I'm doing. You're listening to what I have to share, and I'm expressing what I have inside of me for you to listen to. And it is it is amazing actually how expression is so important and so beneficial as well at the same time for yourself. Yeah, I'm just still amazed. So even though I'm really happy right now to share with you something, I have to say that it wasn't really a pleasant moment that I experienced in the last month. And when I wanted to record here, I was like, yeah, I want to record, but I didn't actually know what. And I still don't actually know what. For some reason, I have like a little call to talk about expression, but I'm not really sure about it. I actually don't really know. And so I was like, you know what, just do whatever you like and whatever you love. So if you want to talk right now, well, just do it. And that's how I end up with this thing of, wow, expression is so amazing. It's so important to give yourself voice of what you're feeling or what you're willing to share. And I had a really tough month, actually extremely tough. Even we could have even say life-threatening situations where I actually got dengue during my trip. So was pretty tough. Even though this is not the main topic I want to share today, I'm still here, so that's all fine. My body reacted sort of very well, even though it was really tough. But during that period, and also before, I was traveling with my dad, and here comes a little bit of a personal story of myself. And I I was sort of not allowing myself to express whatever I was feeling because of how my dad's relationship is with him, which is a pretty tough one. And just to make it a little bit short, is at some point I got dengue, and for those who knows what dengue is, well, you know how, if you have experienced it, I guess you know already how tough it can be. And for those who don't even know what dengue is, well, you can just search it up, and you have different types. Like you have the mild dengue, and then you have the severe dengue. Well, I was lucky enough, I guess, to get the severe dengue, but still be able to, yeah, overcome it somehow without too many difficulties. Of course, I did had, but I did felt that I was able to, yeah, overcome it with a lot of space between me and my dying point. Let's put it this way. But the emotional aspect was really tough, and it's really connected to expression. So, guys, I know we struggle with expression. I know this is something that's for some reason we are born like this and we are educated like this in the manhood and in the brotherhood. Like, don't share your feelings, don't talk about it. You're not allowed to be weak. You always have to show yourself strong. And the outcome is that we don't know how to express. And expression goes into words, so talking, sharing, but it can also go into feelings. Because how are you going to be able to express yourself if you don't know how to feel? So, expression usually is connected in our ideas to words and sharing, like what I'm doing right now. But we forget the aspect of the feelings and we forget the aspect of the emotions that is there together with the words. So, what I was sharing about my story involves words and a description of my experience of dengue, but it also involves a lot of emotions and feelings. So when I tap into this and I allow myself to express words together with my feelings and emotions, I can really feel back what I was experiencing. So if I go back now to the story of my dad, I I was so for me the most difficult part was the emotional one. My dad is someone who doesn't really know how to take care of someone. He usually has the tendency to abandon his kids, which he did back in the days, and he's trying actually to do it over again with now a little sister that I have, and that's how he functions. He doesn't know how to take care of someone, so yeah, there's not much that we can do about it except if he decides to change that. So I had the opportunity, let's say, if you want to be positive, to experience this again. So I had dengue and I was needing water. For those who knows, water is essential for surviving when you have dengue. So you have to drink a lot of water. At the same time, you're very weak, so you cannot really stand up. And you should actually not stand up. You should really rest and allow your body to fight the infection of the virus and allow your body to have all the energy concentrated on one thing and not walking around and yeah, trying to do stuff. So I was actually asking for water to my dad. And I was pretty surprised because I asked it in the morning around at 8 o'clock something. I was like, wow, I really need water. So hey, can you get me some water? We would need some water, I said, I think. And there was no reaction. So, but when you have dengue, you're not really aware of everything. So you don't know. I don't know what happened there. So I cannot talk. And then it was a bit later during the breakfast time where I tried to eat some fruits. And I asked him again, like, hey, we need some water to drink because you have to go outside, go down the stairs and so and get some water with the place where we were staying at, which takes too much energy when you have dengue, when you're like, yeah, sort of fighting against the infection, right? And yeah, nothing happened. He said, yeah, he said yes. He replied like with an affirmation and saying, yeah, and that's what it is. So then I went, of course, straight away to bed, and I just went to rest and give my body a rest, and so that it could keep on fighting with fever and everything that he has in his hands to fight it and to sort of survive, you could say, right? That's what your body does, identifying what's the threat and then just fight against it. So yeah, you know how it goes when you have fever and you're feeling sick. Tend to fall asleep and just rest. You close your eyes, and that's basically where I was at. And and yeah, then I woke up sort of like one something. I was like back in Laos, and I was like, oh shit, I really need water right now. And yeah, I saw my dad there. He stood up, and I was like, hey, can you get me some water? And there's where he hit. He said yes, and he went straight to bed and fell asleep again to sleep. So I got extremely triggered, very triggered. I got really angry. I couldn't hold myself almost inside of me. Of course, I had no force to get angry. That was impossible. But inside, I was boiling, and like it's a lot of mind talk. Even though your body is not really reacting because you don't have the energy for it. You're there, sort of fighting, right? Trying to recover as much as you can, and that was difficult. That was difficult, guys. And why am I sharing this? Because I want you to feel into my words. when I'm sharing this that I'm talking out of emotions and feelings. That if I would be talking without emotions and feelings, you would not probably not be able to really feel into what happened and maybe generate a certain empathy. So we guys, I do believe we have a higher responsibility somehow that we have to learn how to feel, how to understand the expression and the foundations of expression. Because when we know how we feel, then we know how to express. And that gives a better way to communicate and also to connect with others. So if your woman cannot feel you, it's going to be very hard for you both to generate a connection. And this is exactly what happened to my dad. No, I'm not taking it personal. Even though it hurt me a lot, I'm not taking it personal because there is no sense. Why should I? That's how he is. That's how he grew up. That's how his ego is built. That's how his character and personality is built. And he does it to himself as well. So that's how we are humans. You know, whatever you do to someone, you first do it to yourself on one level or on one layer of your soul. So why would I be angry? But it still hurts. And I know that because he's not able to feel his feelings and emotions, he's not able to understand or to get my message. I need water. um I need the source of life to survive, for example. This is the emotional aspect that is behind the request of I need water. Water is the source of life. I'm just asking you to make it easier for me to access water, which didn't happen. I had to find my energy at some point where I was like, man, I don't have energy to go and get some water because you have to go and buy it. We didn't have it there. It was not our place. It's not our home. We were there in a bed and breakfast. So I took my energy and I went down and I bought those 3 bottles of water and I went back up on the stairs and I had my energy to do it. But yeah, that's how it is. And the importance and the lesson here is really about the expressions of your emotions and feelings, the importance that it has, because in this situation, like the one I experienced, you could see the one person asking for water and the other person not getting it for some reason. And we could insult him. Of course, we could. But it still doesn't answer the reason why he did not go for water to help his son in a life threatening disease. So, what I also wanted to share, what I started sharing about at the very beginning, I'm also an example of not sharing my emotions and feelings, because what I did once I realized that my dad would not go for water for me, I got triggered, I got angry, and I decided I will survive on my own. So the question here would be, did I spoke out? Did I express my feelings and emotion I was feeling there? I did not. So if now I would be blaming on my dad and condemning him to you did not give me water, would this be fair? On one side of the story, you could say yes, you're allowed, and yes, I am. But on the other side, as a conscious man, I could have taken my responsibilities and sharing my emotions and my feelings. Like, Dad, I'm really feeling bad. Can you get some water for me? But I did not. Because maybe, I'm just saying maybe, I don't know. But maybe this would have changed the outcome. So, what is the point here to really get and keep for yourself? Is that when you're not sharing your feelings and emotions, the outcome can be different than what you desire. And sometimes, because we're not speaking out of emotions and feelings, the outcome is a complete disaster. Imagine, I mean, worst case scenario, I could have died, but imagine in your relationship an outcome of a breakup because one of them could not speak out of emotions and feelings. And why? Because that person was not connected and was not feeling them. So, our responsibility at very first is to learn how to feel. What are our feelings? What are our sensations in our body? What is my emotion telling me right now? And taking responsibility for this, that our responsibility as man and also as woman is to learn how to feel and how to express from this. Because it's too easy to complain and to judge someone when we have not done the job to express properly based on feeling and emotions. So it's from extreme importance to understand that expression is way more than just words, than just phrases I'm phrasing out, that I'm sharing, like what I'm doing right now. It's the feeling and the emotion that goes behind and that goes together with those words, which makes the difference. And if you see nowadays, I mean, if you look at politics, it's all about a rational mind. It's always the mind talk. There is no emotions and feeling, even though they try to mimic them. They try to mimic them through words, but it's all mind talk. So, what happens is that if you're a very sensitive person, you don't trust them because there is no feelings and emotions. So, it's very difficult to trust the words from someone who does not add or does not connect emotions and feelings to them. So imagine if you're talking to your girl and you don't feel, you don't have this connection with your emotions and feeling. You just talk about your pain, for example. How can she trust what you're saying if you're just rationalizing things and just talking out of from the mind, very cold, no emotion, nothing, neutral? And it gives you the sense of control. That's the worst. So that's the trickiest thing, is that when we talk without feelings and emotion, so we are expressing ourselves without feeling and emotions, it gives us a sense of control because we don't have all those feelings and emotion overwhelming us into a state of emotional being, so it doesn't take us over. So that's why we shut them off. Once, one, we're not able to feel them. And two, if we feel them, we shut them off because it gives us a sense of control. Like, I have control over my life. But in reality, you do not. Because your life and every life on this planet is about emotions and feelings. It's about feeling things. Why? Because it's all about love. And love is something that you cannot buy. You cannot put money on the table and say, I want love. You can see it in a lot of, yeah, males, toxics, distorted males, trying to buy love with their money. But actually, what they're buying is touch. You buy touch because you want to be touched, and your perception perceive this as an act of love. You buy attention, someone there to listen to you, who might not give a shit about what you have to share, but still, it's perceived as someone listening to you. But it doesn't mean you buy love, because love is the energy behind the intention of listening. Love is the energy behind the intention of touch. And love is an energy that you or we are all responsible to learn how to feel and express. There is a lot of many different types of acts that you can do without love and that is perceived as love, but it's not. And many things as well on the other side, in the opposite way, where we believe it's, oh, this person is doing this because she does not love me or because he does not love me. No, this is taking it too personal. When you mention he does not love me because he is not doing this or she is not doing that, you're taking things too personal and you're not looking into what the person is experiencing. Like my dad, for example, he is simply not able to feel. He does not know how to feel love, even less. So, how could I say his act is not an act of love just because he's not doing what I want or what I expect? So, yes, actually, if you really go into the idea, it is not an act of love, the fact that he didn't brought me water, but it's a lack. It's a lack of love. It's a lack of being able to give love, to express love through an act of going and getting water for me. But his inability to express and to feel this makes it very clear that this is also the way how he's doing it to himself. So, is it an act of lack of love towards me, or is it an act of lack of love towards himself? Because the fact that he cannot give me water is actually showing me that he is not able to tap into feelings and emotions and generate empathy for going and getting water for me and experiencing this action of going getting water as an experience of love, because he would be able to feel that energy that pushes him towards getting water, that moves his body because he is feeling love. I was like, wow, I'm feeling love for this son, so I want to get water for him, and I am enjoying taking care of him because I'm able to feel love and I'm allowing this love energy in my body. So I could take it very personal and say, wow, you don't love me. No. At very first, you don't love yourself, Dad, because you're not allowing yourself to feel it. And in consequence, you're not able to express it in action, in words, in intention. This is the reality. So, guys, I'm strongly inviting you, if you're listening to this and you're still listening to this right now at this stage of the podcast, wherever you are at, it's time now to take our responsibility. And even though we were educated to not feel and to not express emotion, it's time to admit that a true male, a true masculine, a true healthy masculine is the masculine that is able to feel. So as a man, because I'm only can speak out for man, but also woman, I strongly invite you to do the same. It's time for us to take our own responsibility. And in order for us to have a positive outcome in our relationship, in the world, wherever it is our responsibility to start to learn how to feel. It's a responsibility. It will not just come. And we cannot expect somebody else to come and show us show us, yes, it's possible, but to do it for us to feel. It is possible that someone can come and show you how to feel, but it's not possible for someone to feel for you. And there is no money at all in this world that can give you this, because we are too used to have this easy access. I buy this, I buy this. You can be a billionaire, you can be any billionaire in the world, There is nothing of your money that will ever, ever, ever give you the chance to buy love, because love is inside of you. Love is something that your discipline can give you access to. Your discipline will give you access to do the work, to every day, every moment, every hour, every second you're trying to connect and to feel yourself, to feel your body, to feel your sensations, to feel your emotions, and to learn how to, in consequence, express them. It's the only way. There is no money that's going to pay for that and that's going to buy it and program it into your brain. It's not going to work. You have to do the job. You have to put into the discipline to experience that. So, guys, I strongly invite you to take this seriously. I would love to see a world full of masculine that can feel and express their emotions and feelings without, for this, thinking or believing that we are weaker, and that the only way of control or the sense of control is by shutting off emotions and feelings. Because in reality, a sense of control is like an operating system, allowing all the programs to be and to be interconnected. And emotions and feeling are the same. They can express. There is space for that. They are also part of us. And feelings, they're also part of us. So why should we not just allow it and allow the expression? And when you express it, you actually gain that sense of control over yourself, because you see suddenly a huge amount of feelings and emotion coming up, and then you're like, okay, just go and express it. I love you all. I'm so happy I made up this audio just out of nothing. I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to share, but it feels really good. I'm really happy, and I'm really happy to be back and to keep on sharing with you guys. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, night, or whatever moment you are at now.